Salvete, today we are continuing lesson 3. We're going to talk about nominative pronouns today. So, a reminder of what pronouns are. So these are words that are used in place of a noun. You remember that a noun is a person, place, or a thing. So instead of saying he kicked the ball, we might say he kicked it. We would use it in place of that noun. So on page 28 and 29 and 30, where we were talking about nominative pronouns, you can look there on the top of page 28, and it gives examples of a few different pronouns like he, me, you, I. And so there's a blank there that you can write in some others if you can think of some others. They're a little bit hard to think of, but you can take a few minutes and think of those if you want to pause the video. Okay, so a few more that I thought of are words like we, you, that. So we go to that place. Instead of saying we go to the store, we might say we go to that place. Whom, which, those would all be pronouns. But today what we're going to talk about, and what we'll focus on a lot this year, is nominative pronouns. So a nominative pronoun, you remember the 5 noun cases. Remember we have nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, ablative. So that nominative, those are the subjects of a sentence. So a nominative pronoun is a pronoun that takes the place of the subject of a sentence. You probably remember these. We can chant these again. If you remember your nominative pronouns, they are ego, tu, is, ea, id, nos, vos, ii. So we can write those up on the board, and then we can remind ourselves what these mean. We have singular, just like for the being linking verbs. We have singular, we have plural, we have first person, second person, third person. So ego, tu, is, ea, id, nos, vos, ii. And do you remember what those mean in English? We'll write that out here. Make sure we give ourselves plenty of room. We have singular, plural, first person, second person, third person. So ego, tu, is, ea, id, nos, vos, ii. Remember the hand motions help you here. Ego, that's I, and it's just the pronouns. Remember with the being linking verbs, it's I am. For this, it's just the pronoun, it's just I. So ego, tu, that's you. Is, ea, id, that's he, she, or it. Nos, that's we. Vos, that's you all. And ii is they. I almost wrote ii accidentally. It's they. So, ego, tu, is, ea, id, nos, vos, ii. That's what this means in English. I, you, he, she, or it, we, you all, and they. So now, on the bottom of page 28 and the top of page 29, they have 7 sentences for you to translate using the nominative pronouns. So those are kind of tricky, so I wanted to go through those together. See if we have room here. All right, I'm going to erase this and then we will write the sentences down here. So the first one is you save. Okay, so there's a couple things we need to do here. First, what is the word for save? It's servat. Okay, remember we learned verbs in the third person singular. So we have to, first of all, this is you save, so it's second person singular. So we need to put it in that form. What are the present tense verb endings? O, is, it, imus, itus, unt. Okay, so O, is. Now this is a little trickier even because it's an A stem verb. So remember for second person singular, we just have the S and the I gets squished out. So this becomes, servas. Servas is second person singular. Now what is the second person singular? What is the nominative pronoun for you? Ego, tu, right? So this becomes tu servas. So that's the answer for number one. Number two, he sinks. First of all, let's remember what's the word for sink or submerge. It's mergit. And remember, we learned this in third person singular. What is he? That is third person singular already. So this is already in the right form. What is he in Latin? Ego, tu, is, ea, id. Is he, she, or it. So this is just is mergit. He sinks. The third one we have is she puts on. Maybe she puts on a hat. What is puts on? That's induit. And here again, we're already in third person singular. What is she? Is, ea, id. He, she, it. So ea is she. Ea, induit. She puts on. We'll go on, we'll do the fourth one and the sixth one. The fourth one is it spews. Remember our word for spews is vomit. And we're lucky again, already in the third person singular. What is it? Is, ea, id. He, she, it. So it is id. Id, vomit. It spews. That's number 4. Last one we'll do together is number 6, and then you all do number 5 and number 7 on your own. So you all fast. What is our word for fast? It's that really funny one, not. Not. Now this is third person singular, right? Because it has the T on the end. We want to say you all fast, so we need to put it in the second person plural. So remember our present tense verb endings. O, is, it, imus, itus, unt. Itus is our second person plural. But again, we have this tricky A stem, and so this just becomes natis. The itis, the I gets squished out, so natis. And now we want to put the correct nominative pronoun on. Ego, tu, is, ea, id, nas, vos, ei. So vos is you all. So it will be vos natis. That completes that one. So remember, just as a reminder, this is also similar to the being linking verbs. Remember, we have sum, est, sumus, estis, sunt. And like we talked about, these are I am, you are, he, she, or it is, we are, you all are, and they are. So these have the pronouns already baked in. So we don't really need to use these pronouns. We can use them or not use them. It doesn't really affect how the sentence translates, but we will practice using them just so we can get familiar with that. So on page 30, we've got some practice using these. So for the first one, we've got piscis sum. Now remember, sum means I am. So I am a fish. So what nominative pronoun would we put with that? The first person singular. So we would say ego piscis sum. The next one is gubernator s. So sum s. So we're saying you are the gubernator. You are the captain. So what nominative pronoun would we put with that? We would put tu. So we would say tu gubernator s. Then next we have nautai sumus. Sum s est sumus. So that's we are. We're saying we are sailors. So what nominative pronoun would we put with that? Nos. We would say nos nautai sumus. We are sailors. So again, we don't really need the nominative pronoun, but we're just adding it for practice. We'll skip the fourth one. You can do that on your own. The fifth one is ieunatis. So this is that fast word again. So ieunatis is you all fast. Okay, so what nominative pronoun would we put with that? We put vos, you all. So vos ieunatis. And then the last one, misericordiam habet, you can put the nominative pronoun that goes with that. All right, and then as you're reviewing nominative pronouns, what I would like you to do this week is you can look ahead to the fabula, the story about Iona Secunda Pars, and go through that story and circle all of the nominative pronouns that you can find. And then when we translate that story together, you'll be more prepared to spot and translate those nominative pronouns. All right, that is all for today and for lesson 3. I hope your studying and your review goes well this week. Vale.